लैपटॉप है तुम्हारा सत्यम? सत्यम लैपटॉप क्या लो? हाँ जी नमस्ते सर, आप आ गए बस, दिस इज रिक्वायर्ड।
Yeah, good afternoon, Arjun ji. I'm just switching on my camera very soon. I'm online. Please unmute yourself.
सब हो जाएगा, बस ये कैमरे का, ये लैपटॉप का बैकअप लेके चलिएगा, इलेक्ट्रिक का
कितना परसेंट है?
पावर बैकअप लेके चलिएगा।
परसेंट है, कम
अभी है 55% है।
अभी तो चलेगा।
ये सर आपका पीपीटी भी रेडी है, माइक कैमरा सब
इसी से लगता है ना।
Professor Smita Jha, Head Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee, who is also the external examiner today. Dr. Arjun Kumar, former Head Department of English, Patna University. Dr. Dhruv Narayan Sinha, Professor and Head Department of English, BN College. Professor Sameer Kumar Sharma, Professor of English, Patna University and currently Registrar of Nalanda Open University, and all faculty members who are present in person and have joined us online, all research scholars and all students of MA who are present, physically present over here. A very warm welcome to all of you to the Ph.D. Viva-Voce of Satyam Kumar. So we will start this program with reading of reports by Dr. Ramhit Chopal. These reports are reports of the experts, including the supervisor. So now I request Dr. Ramhit Chopal to start reading the reports.
सर इसमें से दिखेगा, इसमें से जा रहा है। Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, too much of noise.
Oh, इधर किसका सर जस्ट इधर जस्ट माइक यहाँ आगे
Good afternoon to all of you. Respected head, Professor Stuti Prasad. Former head, Professor Arjun Kumar. Senior colleague and
नहीं एक सेकंड
All right, bhaiya, all right. Hello. It's working. Yeah. So, first of all, a very good afternoon to all of you, respected head, Professor Stuti Prasad, former head, Department of English, Professor Arjun Kumar, senior colleague and currently the registrar, Nalanda Open University, Professor Samir Kumar Sharma, a respected external examiner, Professor Smita Jha, senior colleague and currently head Department of English, BN College, Professor D.N. Sinha, colleagues in the department, Dr. Viva-Voce Ranjan, Dr. Anchit Pandey, junior research fellows, Mukesh Pia, Adit, and dear students. I am going to read the reports of Satyam Kumar. And there are 3 reports. First, I start with the report by the supervisor, Professor Arjun Kumar. And he says the Ph.D. thesis entitled Dalit Feminism in the Select Works of Bama is an excellent specimen of research work. The researcher has shown his determination, honesty, and meticulous hard work to make it an exemplary contribution to main corpus of English literature. The present thesis is divided into 5 chapters. The first chapter is Introduction, which deals with the fact that Dalit literature offers a comprehensive perspective into the lives of Dalit community. It is pointed truly here that Dalit narratives always present contradictions, vulnerability, act of violence, suppression, trauma, affliction, and also strength and optimism. It is very apt in content, language, and references. The researcher has made a comparison of Dalit literature with African American literature and has come across the fact. The second chapter, entitled Social and Political Milieu of Dalits, emphasizes Bama's identification as a Dalit and her underprivileged position in society is further exposed by her gender, class, and religious location. It further examines Dalit discrimination, marginalization, humiliation, and separation from common way of life. There is no doubt that the language serves as a vehicle for Dalits to express their identities, challenge stereotypes, and build collective identities. In third chapter, entitled Dalit Feminism in her novels, where researcher has focused on feminism as a contemporary attribute of Dalit literature, establishes Bama as a precursor of Dalit feminism. Gender and caste are 2 key identities, building factors which create a Dalit feminist perspective. In India, Dalit women face domestic abuse, gender discrimination, and dominance not only from the outside world, but also inside their own group of people. The circumstances of the women in Dalit communities are unsympathetic since they are double exploited, first as women and subsequently as Dalits. In most of the families, women are not educated, neither exposed to academic experiences, as in the case of ladies born in noble families. The fourth chapter is entitled Dalit Feminism in Bama's short stories. The researcher has acquainted us with the fact that Bama's short stories present the miserable condition of Dalit men and women. The lives of Dalit who must endure a strict lifestyle while working towards social justice and independence were documented in the stories. It is acknowledged in India that feminism takes on various forms which reflect complex experiences and subjugation faced by Dalit communities. Fifth chapter is conclusion, where the researcher has presented feminist voices, demonstration against oppressive systems, and fights strongly to allow all women to have human rights, dignity, and equality in all respects. The researcher has rightly highlighted in Bama that her ambition is not to accept the humiliation of higher castes, but to cut through the hierarchy that pulls them down. Her writings in particular aim to arouse the passive conscience of Dalit people and to motivate them to abolish social injustice. I wish to mention here that the PhD thesis is a good contribution to the broader understanding of Dalit literature in India in particular, and the academic community in general. All the chapters are well planned and the content is significantly enriching the different dimensions and implications of Dalit literature. The candidate utilizes successfully a wide range of contemporary key publications of well-known authors and researchers. The language throughout the PhD thesis is remarkably sustaining the meaning. Work cited and bibliography are also worthy and updated. And finally, he says that I sincerely recommend that the PhD degree of Patna University can be awarded to Satyam Kumar after his successful defense in the open Viva-Voce. Now, the second report I am going to read is by Professor Bhavatos Indraguru. He is a senior professor in the Department of English, Dr. H.S. God Central University, Madhya Pradesh. And he says there is the PhD thesis entitled Dalit Feminism in the Select Works of Bama, submitted by Mr. Satyam Kumar to the Faculty of Patna University, Faculty of Arts, Patna University, for the award of Doctor of Philosophy in English, seems to be a coherent piece of research wherein the author has dealt with all the various impasses which come to created while a woman hailing from lower strata of social formation comes to have her interaction across the various social relations and interrelations. While such an interaction comes to have its expression, it leaves a sort of gap in terms of very representation the women had. It can be said that the past and present of the efforts made in the direction of representation via critical injunctions, which further erode the native preoccupations on the part of a woman. The woman now becomes recluse and thrives on splendid seclusion and isolation. The author is of the opinion that such characteristics are fundamental to the works of Bama, the novelist. The author has dealt with the topic in the background of his own faith and belief, driven by an ideological inclination, yet the work draws upon a necessary significance, which is worth the while. The English language employed by the author is generally satisfactory. And he says finally that I choose to recommend the thesis for the award of degree of Doctor of Philosophy to the research scholar of Patna University. And the third report I'm going to read is by Professor Smita Jha. She is a professor in the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, IIT Roorkee. And she writes, the present thesis is a commentary on caste and gender as the two important identity-building mechanisms creating a Dalit feminist perspective. The candidate has highlighted Dalit feminism and redefined women from the socio-political perspective of a Dalit, taking into account caste and gender oppression. Bama's book, Krak, is one such attempt to contest, resist, and replace all such flawed ideas and hegemonic dogmas that have dehumanized Indian Dalits for centuries. This testimonial exposes the shameful and ugly facets of Indian societal structure in which caste-based stratification has unfortunately and unjustly treated those very masses who have most diligently served this ancient civilization with their sweat and blood. Through the proposed analysis, the candidate has highlighted Bama's impactful appeal to her fellow folks, the Dalits, and in particular to the Dalit women, to join hands together in reconceptualizing and reasserting their collective as well as individual identities to claim their rightful place in the Indian social order. Throughout the discussion, this research explores the dynamic relationship between gender and caste in select novels of Bama, drawing on feminist and Dalit literary theories. This study analyzes Bama's novels to reveal the nuanced ways in which gender and caste intersect that save the lives of Dalit women. The candidate has presented the writer's mind vividly as Bama emphasizes the need for a collective struggle against the systematic favoritism as the key to individual liberation. The candidate has taken Bama's short stories as well as to justify his thesis statement. Her short stories are the powerful speculation of women's suffering. Some of the short stories delineate issues related to gender identity, while some stories show active and passive resistance of Dalits. Bama has depicted powerful men and women who exhibit grit, courage, and determination to fight against the oddities of life. Most women characters fight against their own men and wealthy upper caste people. The theoretical framework adopted by the candidate is quite apt to explore the real essence of the thesis. And finally, she says, the present thesis is written in a highly exploratory manner, presenting all the important aspects of Bama's writing, delineating the character of women in a highly poignant manner. And she says, I strongly recommend this dissertation for the award of PhD degree. So these were the 3 reports, and all reports are in favor of the research scholar. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ramhit Chopal. Now I request Satyam Kumar to make his presentation. Satyam Kumar.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, Honorable Head of the Department, Police Department, Dr. Stuti Prasad, ma'am. Honorable Supervisor, Dr. Arjun Kumar, sir, Professor and former Head of the Department. Honorable External Examiner, Dr. Smita Jha, ma'am, Professor, Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, IIT Roorkee. Honorable Dr. Samir Kumar Sharma, sir, Registrar, Nalanda Open University. Honorable Dr. and Professor D.N. Sinha, sir, Head of the Department, BN College. And all the distinguished dignitaries and all the faculty members from different departments present here. Also, the faculty members of the department, respected Dr. Viva-Voce sir and Dr. Ramhit Chopal sir, and guest faculty Dr. Anchit Pandey. Before I begin my presentation, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude towards my supervisor, Dr. Arjun sir, that it is her constant love and blessings that I can complete my PhD dissertation. I would also like to thank Dr. Stuti ma'am. She has also helped me a lot during my PhD journey, and I would also like to thank Dr. Samir Kumar Sharma sir, that he has also blessed me with her insightful suggestions in my PhD dissertation. Now, I would like to begin my presentation. My topic is Dalit feminism in the select works of Bama. Here, I would like to explain the definition of my topic, Dalit feminism. That Dalit feminism is a movement that addresses the intersection and caste of gender, focusing on the experience of Dalit women in India. And in the background, we can See, the Dalit feminism is a feminist perspective that includes questioning caste and gender, role among the Dalit population and within feminism and the larger women's movement. Dalit women primarily live in South Asia, mainly in Bangladesh, India, Nepal, and Pakistan. Dalit women faces different challenges than women in oppressor caste in these countries. They are more likely to be poor, uneducated, and socially marginalized. Dalit feminists have advocated more equal rights for Dalit women based on gender, caste, and other issues. They have addressed conferences, created organizations, and helped elect other Dalit women into political office. Dalit women face violence at higher rates, including types of violence that are specifically done at Dalit women. Certain types of forced prostitution, such as the Devdasi or Jogini system, were reserved specifically for Dalit women. In addition, Dalit victims of violence and their families often do not know their rights or not informed of their rights. The police may show up when a Dalit woman reports a violent attack, but they may not investigate or take action to hold the perpetrator responsible. Sexual violence against Dalit women is considered as regular and routine phenomenon of oppression, according to Kiran Kumar Bodu and Siva Nagai Polatan, writing in the English Studies International Research Journal. The Dalit women's movement in India is a movement for gender equality and women's rights that also addresses caste oppression. Dalit women have been active in the movement since the 1920s and are a key part of the Dalit movement in India today. I would like to talk about the history. The first national meeting of Dalit women was held in Bangalore in 1987. Dalit women have participated in international conferences, including the 1993 World Conference Against Racism and the 1995 Conference on Women. Dalit women have been involved in anti-caste and anti-untouchability movements. Challenges: Dalit women face caste-based violence and are denied basic rights like education and denial of basic rights. Mainstream feminist movements have often overlooked the specificity of the caste oppression goals. Dalit women's movement aim to challenge gender inequalities and caste oppression. Dalit women's movements aim to create a more inclusive and equitable society. Their organizations: National Federation of Dalit Women, a national organization created by Dalit women; All India Dalit Women's Forum, a national organization created by the Dalit women; Vanangana, a feminist NGO that works with Dalit women. Now, I would like to say about the author, Bama. Bama, also known as Bama Faustina Sorceras, is a Tamil feminist teacher and novelist. Her autobiographical novel, Karakku, in 1992, chronicles the joys and sorrows experienced by Dalit Christian women in Tamil Nadu. She subsequently wrote two more novels, Sangati in 1994 and Venmam in 2002. Along with three collections of short stories, Usumbukaran in 1996, and Oru Tattvam Erumayam in 2003, Candata in 2009. In addition to this, she has written 20 short stories. His early life and family. Bama was born in 1958 as Faustina Mary Fatima Rani in a Roman Catholic family belonging to the Periyar community from Posupatti in the then Madras state. Later, she accepted Bama as her friend. Her father, Sorceress, was employed in the Indian Army and her mother was named Celestiama. She is the sister of famous Dalit writer Raj Gautama. Bama's grandfather had converted from Hinduism to Christianity. Bama's ancestors were from Dalit community and worked as an agricultural laborer Bama had her early education in her village. Her early literary influences include Tamil writers like Jaykantan, Akilan, Mani, and Parth Sarthi. In college, she read and enjoyed Khalil Gibran and Rabindranath Tagore. On graduation, she became a school teacher for very poor girls, following which she served as a nun for 7 years. She chose to take the holy orders to escape caste-based discrimination and also to further her mission of helping the advancement of poor Dalit girls. Now I'm going to introduce my first chapter. My thesis is divided into 5 chapters. First is introduction, second is political and social milieu of Dalits, and third chapter is Dalit feminism in the novels of Bama. Fourth is Dalit feminism in the short stories of Bama, and then fifth and last chapter is conclusion. Now I'm going to introduce my first chapter, that is introduction. In this chapter, the term Dalit originates from Sanskrit meaning oppressed and refers to the lowest and least advantageous caste member in India. The Indian caste system rooted in the Rig Veda is the lowest stratum known in modern linguistic terminology. The Dalit subaltern group were subdued by the Aryans and Mughals during their settlements in the subcontinent. Dalit literature aims to literate and uplift the Dalits through transformation, revolution, and opposition to casteism. Major Dalit writers include Kumani, Dayapawar, Arjun Dangle, Sachita Gotreva, Ravi Singh, Bama, Namdev Dhasal, Mahaswita Devi, Himayam. The British colonization of India dominated the native populations, highlighting the subaltern state of the Indian race. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's Renaissance phase from 1920 to 1956 was influenced by education and democracy, stimulating the new generation to express their views in writing. Dalit writers in Tamil Nadu were influenced by the ideology of E.V.R. Ramaswamy Naikar, known as Periyar, who championed the cause of the unprivileged people through anti-caste and anti-religious propaganda. Contemporary Dalit writers like Mulk Raj Anand and Bama have fought for giving the Dalit Sag in an identity in society, rejecting the notion of Varna and refusing to Sanskritize to elevating Dalit lifestyle according to mainstream Hindu values. Dalit feminist discourse contains writings of women who voiced their remonstration against oppressive power systems. Dalit literature and its influences. Dalit women often struggle with lack of education, leading to a lack of ability to express their experiences. Dalit literature shares similarities within African American literature, influenced by movements against exploitation and human rights. Autobiography is the most common form of Dalit literature, reflecting the writer's personal image and connection between self and society. Indian literature such as Mahatma Jyotirbai Phule, the Mahabharata incites the self-sacrificing actions of Dalits while also highlighting their harsh oppression. Dalit literature emphasizes humanity and emancipation, a historical need. New writers like Baburao Babul, Bandhu Badhav, and Shankar Rao Kharat emerged in the 1960s, giving a fresh outlook to Dalit literature. Dalit literature progresses towards a sense of collective identity and commonality with the Dalits in Indian, lifting their voice against all forms of exploitation and persecution. Dalit themes are introduced in works like Fine by Balanced by Rohinton Mistry, Sea of Poppies, River of Smoke, and Food of Fire by Amitabh Juice, and The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. Chapter 2. Social and political milieu of Dalit. Dalit struggles and disadvantages. Dalit, constituting approximately 35% of India's population, face economic exploitation and cultural enslavement and political helplessness. Dalits are prohibited from entering temples, reading or writing the holy Hindu scriptures, and are not advised to read or write the Hindu holy scriptures. The role of Dalit literature. Dalit literature aims to destroy decaying social and cultural order and transform social reality towards freedom. equality, and human dignity. Dalit writer Bama aims to break the chains that bound women folk and deliver vital elevation for their troubles. The role of education in overcoming illiteracy. Education is seen as the gateway to liberation and opens avenues of new lifestyle. Bama Dalit girl aims to provide schooling for her communities, children facing poverty and discrimination. Education provides refinement in actions and instills confidence in Dalit people, leading to better clothing and more independent mindset. Dalit women struggle for emancipation. The pariah community youngsters work together to clean the Chavri, promoting self-confidence and societal upliftment. Education is seen as an essential necessity for Dalit people with some Dalit people. The third chapter is Dalit feminism in her novel. In this chapter, I showed Bama's representation of Dalit women in Karakku and Sangati. Bama's portrayal of Dalit women in Karakku and Sangati, highlighting the intersection of gender and caste in Dalit fiction. Bama's writing celebrates Dalit women's subversive strategies to overcome their oppression. Karakku, a term meaning serious phases or the palomar leaves, highlighting the atrocities caused by gender discrimination, caste, and class division. Bama's writing style is characterized by fearlessness, radicality, and personal experiences. Karakku moves from the village to the convent, addressing the marginal communities of the urban poor. Dalit literature is marked by revolt and a struggle of lower caste against the high class people. The Dalit community in India is regarded as untouchable, unshoot, and they are suppressed, humiliated, exploited, and marginalized in every sphere of life. Now, in fourth chapter, Dalit feminism in her short stories. Here, short stories mention Haram Shamsar. It is a collection of her short stories. The story, originally titled Kusumbu Karan, is a reflection of the Dalit community's subtly resisting upper caste landlords. Mathu, the central character, is known for his mischievous behavior and serves as a form of social community. Mathu, mockery of Lakshmana Tapa, an elderly man accused of adultery, exposes the absurdity and injustice of patriarchal practices. His pranks serve as a form of resistance against oppressive structures that control and blame women. Sikhar, chairman. At the end of the story, Ramaswamy and in the last chapter, that is conclusion, the observations I have mentioned that breaking the silence by writing about their realities, Dalit authors actively challenges the societal taboo of discussing caste oppression, giving a voice to the silenced experiences of their communities, reclaiming agencies, using language to articulate their own experiences and perspective allows Dalit to reclaim agency from the dominant caste narratives that often portray them as inferior, challenging linguistic hegemony. Dalit writer often utilizes vernacular languages or dialect, deliberately refusing the established literary norms and the privileged language associated with the upper caste symbolic power of words. Here, employing specific words and phrases that carry deep social meanings within the Dalit community can be a powerful way to convey resistance and solidarity, transforming the derogatory terms. Dalit writers may appropriately derogatory term used against them, stripping them of their negative connotation and using them as symbols of empowerment. That's all. This is my concluding chapter. Thank you.
Now I request our external examiner, Professor Smita Jha to put questions to Satyam Kumar. Professor Smita Jha.
Yeah, thank you, Professor
Thank
Stuti
you, madam.
Prasad. It's nice to meet you all virtually, though I'm missing the hospitality given by Patna University. I mean, good gesture, good food. Anyway, I mean, this is also a good way to conduct the Viva-Voce examination. Thank you, Satyam, for a very good, nice presentation. I have a few observations regarding your presentation. Can you hear me, Satyam?
Yes, sir.
Madam,
Yes,
your
sir.
voice is very soft. Very soft.
Am I
It's almost inaudible.
Am I audible?
It should also come to.
Yes, sir. You are audible, ma'am.
Yeah. So thank you for a very good presentation, nice presentation. I have certain observation regarding the presentation. Right. Hello.
1 second.
Yes. So could you
Yes, ma'am.
please
Yes, ma'am.
tell me that as you have dealt with Bama's portrayal of women condition in the society in terms of Dalit literature, could you please
Yes, ma'am.
highlight, is it the double marginalization? Because you talked about marginalization also. So
Yes,
do you have
ma'am.
idea of double marginalization?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I mean, double marginalization means the women are victims of actually Dalit women are doubly marginalized in terms that in their family they are suppressed and oppressed by their own men, and in outside of the family, the agencies and the upper class mentality and person are suppress them. So, ma'am, we can say that the Dalit women are doubly marginalized. And yes,
So,
ma'am.
how does Dalit literature, challenge uh, traditional Indian social hierarchies? Can you answer?
Ma'am, actually, Dalit literature is a type of movement which raise voice against the suppression and discrimination on Dalit women. So these writings can help and challenge that mindset to free the Dalit women from these marginalization and their this type of thoughts.
Okay. While going through the pages of your research, I found, the term Dalit consciousness as well. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Dalit
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
consciousness as well. So, what
Yes,
is the
ma'am.
role of Dalit consciousness in
Ma'am.
shaping Dalit literature? Dalit
Yes,
consciousness
ma'am.
in shaping Dalit literature.
Yeah, it is consciousness, ma'am. Means they have the sense to think about themselves, and it is Dalit community who need to do something for themselves. Only after the other person can do for themselves. Yes, ma'am.
You have also talked about Satyam, the language, words, phrases, right? So,
Yes, ma'am.
how does the use of language and imagery, differ in Dalit literature compared to the mainstream of any Indian literature?
Yes, ma'am. Dalit literature in mainstream literature there are lack of Dalit literature, ma'am, and because of lack of this literature, we can't understand the sufferings of Dalit. So it's important to
You are not audible. You are not audible. Unmute yourself. Unmute
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Now you are audible. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Actually, uh, Dalit literature is important for their voices, and only by this we can understand the sufferings of Dalits. And in mainstream literature, it is it is not shown in the mainstream literature. So Dalit literature is important for the voices and the struggles and the feelings we can understand from this literature. So it is important for to come in mainstream literature, ma'am.
Can you
Yes, ma'am.
make a comparison or contrast, Bama's Kurakku with her work Sangati?
Yes, ma'am. Karaku is her autobiographical nature of work, and Karaku is the sequence of his Sangati is the sequence of her novel, autobiographical novel, and the same similarity, personal experience are there in Karaku, ma'am, and in Sangati there are many characters of Bama which are share their own feelings and about their sufferings, ma'am, and they raise their voice through the resistance in terms of language and actions.
Okay. So may I ask you that why did you select the work of Bama only?
And actually, Bama is the pioneer of.
Much has already been written on Bama.
Yeah, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, actually, Bama is the pioneer of Dalit feminist literary field, and actually, her short story is very important term which attracts me to work on Bama. There are a lot of works, ma'am, on Bama's novel, but in her short story, I find some gap, so I choose Bama.
Okay. Now, just a general question that what according to
Yes.
you is the most appropriate Dalit writer, if we talk of Indian literature,
Yes, ma'am.
other than Bama?
Yeah. Ma'am, there are many writers like Devitai Kamble and Vila Pawad, ma'am. These are the writers who works like similar like Bama, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So if we talk of Dalit literature,
Yes, ma'am.
can you find some kind of, racism or the study related to race, in Western country? Because even recently I was there in Patna University, they suggested aboriginal, right? Aboriginals are also.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is your intake on this?
Ma'am, there is similarity in Western and Indian Dalit literature and substance.
Similarity with?
They actually, ma'am, they both are oppressed and suppressed, but they suppressed on the basis of race, and here the Dalit community suppressed on the basis of their caste, and women are suppressed on the basis of also their gender.
Okay.
Baki, well, yes.
Yeah, please carry on.
Yeah.
So my last question is that
Yes, ma'am.
how would you rate Bama while using personal anecdotes and autobiographical elements in her writing to send a message to the life experience of women, to the society?
Ma'am, Bama is a fabulous writer, ma'am, and she is fantastic to raise the sufferings of Dalit community, especially Dalit women. So I rank Bama a very great author. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, finally, that how do you contribute to the upliftment of society by writing such kind of research? What do you think?
Ma'am, actually, this education is the best tool to uplift the society, ma'am. If I I I I want to work in the field of education and for equality. I work for the equal and for the respect of all the society, and wherever I need any help, then I must help the needful society.
Okay. Okay, I'm done from my side. Well
Yes, ma'am. Thank
answered.
you.
Thank you, Professor Prashad.
Thank you, Professor Smita Jha. Now it's open house. I request the research scholars and the students and faculty members present to put questions to Satyam Kumar.
We can also appreciate your observation.
You are not audible, Satyam. You are not audible.
Yeah, yeah, and black feminism means this is also kind of it is I think from about African. I think you are talking about African.
Subaltern feminism, then which one of the concepts, whether Dalit feminism or black feminism, people express prefer subaltern feminism. Of which two?
There are many such problems in like Bama. Yes. Yes. Yeah. It holds whole the area of suppression society, according to if you are talking about subaltern, but in feminism only women are considered in the feminism. Yes. Okay, sir. Actually, it's
Yes, it's all right. That's we have answered well. But as it is custom of the Department of English, we need some of the best observations by Indian scholars.
Yeah, you are unmute yourself, Satyam. Yeah, this is
Yes,
for
ma'am.
me. This is for me, Professor Prashad.
yes.
You not only address the systematic challenges faced by Dalit women, but also
There is a observation of others.
demonstrating
Very, very congratulations, Satyam.
At the end of this question
You very
answer
well
session,
defended your thesis.
now I request the supervisor, Professor Arjun Kumar, to make observations or ask questions as he chooses.
ए बाबू इसको रख नहीं इसमें रख नहीं ओके
It's my this quiz before such gathering today that this is the second research of my university that
सर को तो आ रहे सर जब सर को सबसे पहले ना इससे बोलो बोलते
we should be dear students, as you know, that the text which he has worked upon is the most favorite text which I prefer to teach in CC 14. And many times he has a great response in the department with regard to the life of the Dalit women in particular. And today we confess a whole where we people, or the privileged section of society should come forward and extend the best to uplift the situation and morale of the no doubt, we are living in a society which there are many processes worldwide, global-wise, that our democracy in fact is spreading into totalitarianism, and the situation in fact is moving from bad to worse. In such a situation, there are of our country have to be very, very serious about the plight of Dalit and the Dalit families. Well, I extremely extend my thanks to the supervisor, both the supervisors, because you have already listened to the names of the two supervisors. That one is senior professor of Central University and Professor Smita Jha, in fact, is now the head of the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences at IIT Roorkee. And both of them have consented that yes, we want to be a contribution to the main fora of English literature, because this is not just a research work done by Satyam Kumar, but he has led history by choosing and selecting this feminism. So, dear students and all the people standing here, I extend my deep gratitude to all of you that came on this occasion and have been successful. It is my observation that though, as man has pointed out, the Honorable Professor to put a question. So my question in fact is very, very important. No, we are talking about Dalit feminism, and my colleague has pointed out how can it be differentiated from African, black, and other subaltern. Well, in this era where we are living in post-humanism and artificial intelligence, I have just a kind of observation that in this era of post-humanism, where can we see Dalit feminism and how can the upliftment in the life of Dalit can be possible? So I just want yes or no from him. And if he says yes, it is all right. If he says no, then he has to defend. So what's your reply? Yes. Yes. Thank you all.
Thank you, Professor Arjun Kumar. And now I request our respected Professor Smita Jha to congratulate the research scholar. Satyam.
Yeah, so congratulations, Dr. Satyam. Now you are not Dr. Satyam.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Congratulations to your supervisor, Professor Arjun Kumar ji. A big congratulations to you, and my great regard to my dear Professor Stuti Prasad ji for managing the whole affair in such a smooth manner. And I wish you good luck for your future endeavor.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Dr. Satyam Kumar.
And ma'am, one thing, we also extend warm welcome and huge congratulations to you on becoming the head Department of Humanities and Social Science. We have also received this message. Congratulations once again to you.
I have missed out your hospitality, your good food, the kind of enjoyment, coming to Patna was a big charge. But I will come. Initially, I have, lots of work and I'm going to USA tomorrow. So if I get chance, I will come again to meet you all.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations, Professor Smita Jha. Thank you so much for giving us your precious time. I heard that you are leaving for US very soon in a day or two. Thank you so much for taking.
How could I forget? How could I forget that, Bagan ka bachka and this and that and sitting together, that is, I'm missing terribly. I'll come again if Arjunji gives me opportunity again.
We all
Okay, thank you. You can send me the paper online. I will
Yes,
check my signature.
very soon.
Yeah. Tomorrow evening I will be leaving. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Professor Smita Jha has congratulated Satyam Kumar. So he has successfully defended his So we come to the end of this session, Ph.D. Viva-Voce. Thank you everyone for your participation.
Thank you. Shall I leave the room? With your permission, Professor Rashad.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Papers are with you.